In 2026, while the world runs on tight schedules and artificial intelligence, at Lake Eyasi in northern Tanzania, the Hadzabe tribe still ventures into the forest empty-handed. There are no backup plans, no second chances, and no help from technology. They wake up and survive in their own way, as they have for thousands of years, walking barefoot on the earth. Let's step into this unexpected encounter, where instinct and experience are the only guides. Following nature's trails, the hunters hear a bird leading them straight to a large tree filled with wild honey. They harvest and eat immediately, taking in crucial energy for the long hunting journey ahead. At the same time, this is how they stay in rhythm with the natural world. Before moving on, the Hadzabe prepare their hunting tools, handcrafted wooden arrows coated with sap from the desert rose to form a lethal toxin. Bows made from wild animal sinew are checked carefully to ensure the tension is strong enough to pierce the thick hides of buffalo and other large animals. Every step is carefully calculated, as their tools are what determine the success of the hunt. The Hadzabe read every sign on the ground: faint footprints, wet mud, wind direction, or even the condition of animal droppings. All of it reveals the location and behavior of their target. Following the trail, they spot a wild buffalo resting in a nearby clearing. They do not attack immediately, but patiently watch the wind to avoid detection. When the distance is right, a poisoned arrow is released. The buffalo runs for a short distance before slowing down as the poison takes effect. After taking down the first buffalo, the Hadzabe continue tracking and spot another herd moving nearby. They split into smaller groups, approaching each animal silently, striking the largest first, and ready to pursue if necessary. Thanks to their teamwork, every buffalo is brought down safely, avoiding disruption of the herd and unnecessary risk. Not only do the Hadzabe hunt buffalo, but they also pay close attention to other animals in the area, especially crocodiles along the lakeshore. They follow each muddy track and wet footprint, observing how the crocodiles move and choosing the perfect moment to strike. When a crocodile surfaces to sun itself on the bank, the hunters take careful aim from their hiding spots, hitting vital areas with poisoned arrows. The crocodile retreats to the water, its mobility reduced, and the Hadzabe patiently wait, approaching when the animal is weakened. This hunting method relies more on biological knowledge, patience, and teamwork than on brute strength. Once all targets are down, the Hadzabe begin processing the meat. Buffalo and crocodile are divided fairly among all members according to established customs. No one is prioritized, whether they made the kill or are the leader. From elders and women to young children, everyone receives their share. They cook directly over hot embers, using even the bones and nutrient-rich parts of the crocodile to avoid wasting any natural resources. When eating, the Hadzabe focus not only on nourishment but also on community. Everyone gathers around the fire, sharing food and stories, teaching children survival skills, how to read animal tracks, and how to understand the wind. This absolute fairness in sharing sustains their social cohesion, allowing the tribe to survive thousands of years without internal conflict. The Hadzabe's hunting and eating practices are not just acts of survival, they are lessons in patience, teamwork, understanding nature, and respect for all living things. They take only what they need, never greedy, and always maintain ecological balance. Their minimalist lifestyle, community spirit, and survival skills offer invaluable lessons we can learn from the Hadzabe tribe.
Dawn had just begun to break over the African savanna, while thin bands of mist still hovered above the low grass. A group of hunters from the Hadza tribe left their camp very early. They moved almost without making a sound, their eyes carefully scanning the ground and the surrounding bushes. Today's hunt was not merely a simple search for food. For them, every hunt was part of a cycle of survival that had existed for thousands of years. On this vast land, experience and patience were always more important than strength. After traveling a considerable distance, they spotted clear hoofprints pressed into the dry ground. The fresh tracks suggested that a male kudu antelope had passed through the area not long ago. A few low branches were broken, and patches of grass had been disturbed, further confirming their observation. The hunters paused for a few seconds to study the signs before continuing forward. They moved slowly, keeping a proper distance, and always staying upwind to avoid being detected by the animal. Time passed in silence. The sun began to climb higher, making the air grow hotter across the savanna. Even so, the hunters maintained a steady pace. Tracking was not based on sight alone, but also on many small details, such as the direction in which the grass had been pressed down or freshly turned patches of soil. These were skills passed down through generations, allowing them to read the story animals left behind on the ground. Eventually, they spotted a group of kudu antelope moving across an open stretch of grassland. The animals remained alert, frequently lifting their heads to scan their surroundings. One hunter quietly stepped forward. He raised his bow, held his body perfectly still, and waited for the right moment. When the male kudu moved closer, the arrow was released with remarkable precision. The antelope was struck and immediately ran off into the distance. The hunters did not rush after it. They knew the important thing was to continue following the trail calmly. Small drops of blood on the ground helped them determine the animal's direction. After a fairly long distance, the kudu gradually weakened and finally collapsed in the grass. Hours of patience and concentration had finally paid off. But the savanna rarely allows everything to unfold smoothly. As they began to approach their prey, unusual sounds echoed from afar. Several birds suddenly called out warnings. Large, familiar footprints appeared on the ground. Before long, a male lion emerged at the edge of the grassland. It stopped and observed the hunters and the fallen prey lying in the open field. The atmosphere immediately became tense. The Hadzabe men quickly stood closer together, maintaining a solid formation. They did not scatter or panic. Each person understood his role in this situation. The lion stepped forward a few paces, its eyes fixed on the kudu. A silent standoff unfolded for several minutes, as if testing the confidence and experience of both sides. In the end, the lion decided to leave. Perhaps the unity of the hunters made it realize that this was not an easy opportunity. As its silhouette gradually disappeared behind the grass, the tension in the air also began to fade. The hunters quickly began processing the kudu. Portions of meat were carefully cut, tied with cord, and divided so that everyone could carry a share back. Some of the men gathered dry wood and started a small fire. Stones were arranged in a circle to hold the heat. Within moments, flames were rising in the middle of the vast savanna. Part of the meat was placed over the glowing coals to prepare a meal for the day. The men sat around the fire, exchanging brief remarks about the tracking process and how they had coordinated while approaching the prey. As the sun slowly sank lower, the hunt came to an end. Food had been secured for the coming days, but more importantly, their experience had been strengthened once again. On the savanna, survival does not depend on luck, but on skill, discipline, and teamwork. For the Hadzabe people, every hunt not only brings food, but also serves as a reminder that adaptation and unity are the keys that allow their community to continue surviving in the harsh embrace of nature.
On the African savanna, not every meal comes easily. Before fire, before meat was placed over glowing coals, humans had to live in a constant state of alertness against the most dangerous predators of this land. Mornings on the savanna begin with a familiar stillness. But for the Hadzabe people, that silence has never been random. As they move through low grass and dry, cracked ground, they observe the smallest signs. In this region, leopards rarely reveal themselves. Most of the time, they leave behind faint tracks in the sand, light drag marks on the ground, or an unexplainable feeling when the surrounding space suddenly becomes too quiet. For this predator, even the smallest sign is enough to reveal its presence. A leopard could be very close, even if no one sees it directly. They often remain hidden in dense bushes, behind low mounds, or beneath thick tree canopies, watching every movement from a safe distance. That is why every step is carefully considered. Eyes constantly scan blind spots, places where danger exists without any clear signal. Recognizing a leopard's presence is not about approaching, but about keeping distance. In such situations, the Hadzabe slow down, maintain a tight formation, and reduce noise. They understand that surprise is the leopard's greatest advantage, and caution is the most effective way to reduce risk. In some rare cases, when the signs become clearer and the distance is safe enough, they may track the leopard's direction. not to chase, but to understand its patterns, how it chooses paths, where it rests, and when it moves. In these moments, hunting is not confrontation, but interpretation. One small mistake can instantly shift the balance. So they stop at the right moment, retreat before being detected, and maintain distance as a rule for survival. When everyone returns to camp, the tension gradually fades. Footsteps slow, voices soften, and the familiar rhythm of life begins to return. The camp is set up quietly, without noise. Everyone knows their role, because these tasks have been part of life for a long time. Some prepare ingredients, while others gather dry wood around the area. The fire is built slowly, starting with small sparks before spreading across the open ground. Thin smoke rises, blending into the dry air of the savanna. They cook without recipes or complex tools. Everything relies on experience, the way they feel the heat of the coals, the timing of turning the food, and patience. The food is placed over glowing embers, cooking gradually in silence. The aroma spreads slowly, drifting into the vast surrounding space. In the vast savanna, beside a small fire, cooking is not just about satisfying hunger. It is how the Hadzabe restore balance after a day of pressure. When the food is ready, everyone gathers around the fire. No one rushes. This moment is not just for eating, but for sharing time together. Food is distributed naturally, without calculation or competition. Each person takes their portion, eating slowly and quietly. Children sit near the adults, eating while observing. They learn how to watch, how to wait, and how to survive, lessons passed down through generations. The tension of the day fades away, replaced by a rare sense of peace. These are the moments that restore balance. A reminder that even in an environment full of uncertainty and hidden risks, humans can still find stability in the simplest things. Nothing here is extraordinary. It is simply how people survive, adapt, and rely on one another in a harsh natural world. These simple moments remind us that life is not only about finding food, but also about connection and sharing. If this story brings you any feeling, don't forget to like, leave a comment, and subscribe to follow more authentic journeys.
The sun rose early today, casting long rays of light across the vast and quiet landscape of northern Tanzania. In this dry region of East Africa, the Hadzabe people continue to live much as their ancestors did for countless generations. Their way of life revolves around hunting and gathering, without electricity or running water. While much of the modern world is shaped by technology, urbanization, and constant change. They are among the last communities on Earth to preserve this ancient rhythm of life, where survival is simply part of everyday existence. In the stillness of the morning, carrying handmade bows and arrows and relying on knowledge passed down through generations, the hunters carefully inspect their weapons before heading into the wilderness in search of food. The hunt begins. They move across rocky hillsides, weave through sparse woodlands, and follow their hunting dogs. No one speaks loudly. No one gives orders. Everything unfolds naturally, like an instinct embedded deep within them through centuries of tradition. Their pace slows as they move with purpose and precision. They stop at the faint rustle of leaves, kneel to examine fresh tracks pressed into the dry earth, and quietly assess the direction of the wind. Suddenly, one hunter drops to a crouch. The signs suggest that an animal passed through only moments ago. No words are exchanged. Then, in a brief instant, an arrow is released, slicing through the silence. The first wild boar collapses immediately. Before another can react, a second falls just moments later. Everything happens so quickly that even the sounds seem swallowed by the landscape. The hunters approach, collect the results of their efforts, and safely begin the journey back with food for the group. Following a narrow trail toward the edge of the forest, the atmosphere grows noticeably tense. Without warning, a large antelope appears. Its coat blends almost perfectly with the earth and surrounding brush.
Through the dense thickets, the faint...
Completely unaware of the hunters nearby, it continues moving calmly. Instantly, the group stops. Every movement becomes nearly silent. Quick glances are exchanged as they evaluate the wind and the animal's position. Within seconds, an arrow flies true, bringing the hunt to a successful end. The antelope, unaware of the danger, becomes the next source of food and a welcome reward for the hunting party. After returning from the hunt, the group quickly prepares a meal. The animals harvested that day are processed and divided into portions so that everyone receives a share, a practice that has existed for generations. The meal takes place in a warm and communal setting, with people sitting together and sharing food. This tradition of sharing is far more than a simple gesture. It is a foundation of their society. It ensures that no one goes hungry, and it is this sense of unity that has allowed them to thrive for so long across the vast African savanna. For the Hadza people, life is not about owning the most, but about understanding what is enough. They possess few material belongings, store little beyond immediate needs, and rarely plan far into the future. They take from nature only what they truly need and freely share what they have. In their world, there is little room for pride or individual competition. Everything is centered on the well-being of the community. Each person depends on others, and together they face the challenges of life. Today's hunt was not a once-in-a-lifetime triumph. It was simply an ordinary glimpse into a way of life shaped by thousands of years of survival in a demanding natural environment. That simplicity, though seemingly modest, carries a quiet strength and wisdom. Perhaps the most valuable lesson the Hadza offer is not their remarkable survival skills, but their perspective on life. Knowing when enough is enough, remaining humble before nature, and sharing so that no one is left behind.
The coastline stretched out ahead, flat and so still that it was almost impossible to detect any movement. To them, an area that was too quiet usually meant something was being hidden. They did not move straight toward the water. No rushing, no unnecessary motion. The wind skimmed across the surface, creating steady ripples. But occasionally, a very small movement appeared, quick, fleeting, then gone. Not enough for most people to notice, but for them, it was a signal. The pace shifted instantly, faster, more decisive, yet still controlled. The distance closed within seconds. The approach was complete. The water lost its stillness. Ripples spread outward, disturbing the surface briefly before settling again. Within moments, everything returned to how it was: calm water, an almost unchanged shoreline. Without witnessing the entire sequence, it would be difficult to realize what had just happened. For crocodiles, this hunting method does not rely on speed or strength, but on patience and extremely precise observation. They can remain motionless for long periods, almost blending into the water, simply waiting for the right moment. Their eyes stay level with the surface, tracking even the smallest movements without being detected. When the moment arrives, they act in an instant, quick, clean, and leaving almost no trace. This level of control and perfect timing allows them to confront one of the most unpredictable targets in the natural environment. And sometimes, just a small mistake is enough to cause the entire plan to collapse. If you find this moment intense, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to follow more. Once they reach dry land, they begin processing right on the spot. There is no complicated preparation, everything is done directly and efficiently. Usable parts are separated quickly, while unnecessary portions are removed without hesitation. Every movement is precise and familiar. Clearly, this is not their first time doing it. No one needs to give instructions, yet everyone understands their role. The coordination happens naturally, forming a smooth and efficient process. After completing the basic preparation, they begin preparing the meal right there. A few dry branches are gathered and arranged into a small pile. The fire is started quickly, simple, yet steady enough to maintain heat. Once the fire stabilizes, the food is placed near the heat source. There are no tools, no complex techniques, just placing it directly over the fire or near the hot coals, adjusting the distance as needed. Everything is controlled through observation. The color changes, the surface transforms, and the aroma spreads into the air. When the heat weakens, they add more wood. There are no measurements, only experience guiding each action. When the food reaches the right level of doneness, they begin taking it off naturally, without any signal or fixed order. Whoever is closest takes first, then shares with those around them. The food does not stay in one place but moves continuously from hand to hand, creating a very natural rhythm. Portions are often broken into smaller pieces before eating, and almost always, a part is passed to someone else. No invitations, no requests, just a habit formed over time. For them, this is not a special moment that needs to be separated or emphasized. It is simply a familiar part of their way of life, happening at the right time, fully utilized, and ending as naturally as it began. When the water returns to its calm state, it seems as if nothing is left behind. But for the Hadzabe people, it represents a complete journey, from observation to action, and finally to a meal prepared on the spot. If you want to follow more stories like this, from crocodile hunting to encounters with even more dangerous animals, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next.
In the dry lands surrounding Lake Iasi, water is the most valuable resource. When the dry season lasts for months, the remaining water holes become a gathering point for those animals. But these life-sustaining places are also the territory of dangerous predators. Along the muddy banks, crocodiles often lie motionless for hours, waiting for an opportunity. The Hadzabe understand this danger well and avoid direct confrontation, knowing that even a small mistake can have serious consequences. Even so, they must approach these water sources every day, where the line between safety and danger remains very thin. As the first rays of sunlight appear on the horizon, the Hadzabe hunters leave their camp, carrying their traditional handmade bows. Without maps or modern equipment, they rely on tracks in the soil, the direction of the wind, and knowledge passed down through generations. Along the way, they find antelope footprints, ground disturbed by aardvarks, and trails leading toward the lake. Every sign has the potential to lead to a new hunt. The hunters move forward in short, careful steps while constantly observing the terrain. When they locate an animal hidden among low bushes, the archers slowly spread out to gain better positions. The distance closes little by little. When the opportunity finally appears, the bows are drawn at the same time. Arrows fly forward and disappear into the dry grass. Not every hunt ends successfully, but patience has always been an essential part of their way of life. Once the hunt is over, there is no loud celebration. The animal is processed quickly at the site. Everyone joins in naturally, as if each person already knows exactly what to do. For the Hadzabe, hunting is not about proving individual strength. It is a shared responsibility that helps provide food for the entire community. The result, therefore, belongs to everyone, not to a single hunter. as the sun rises higher, the group gathers in a familiar clearing. There, the game is prepared for a meal that will feed the entire tribe. The Hadzabe do not hunt more than they truly need. They take only enough to sustain their way of life and continue into the following days. This approach has allowed them to live in balance with nature for a very long time. Food is never wasted, and every usable part of the animal is put to good use. Beyond their value as food, many animals are connected to traditional knowledge passed down through generations. Certain parts of an animal are described by elders as ingredients once used in traditional remedies. While these beliefs may differ from modern medicine, they reflect the deep connection between the community and the natural world. For the Hadzabe, hunting is not only about finding food, but also about preserving knowledge inherited from their ancestors. AS food is shared among everyone in the camp. We realize that the most remarkable aspect of this community is not their hunting skill, but their spirit of sharing. There is no concept of excessive hoarding or keeping the best portions for oneself. Women, children, and even the dogs that accompany hunting trips all receive their share. These dogs are not simply pets. They play important roles in keeping watch, tracking animals, and assisting hunters in many different situations. As night falls over Lake Iasi, the Hadzabe hunters gather around the fire to eat and talk after a long day. During daylight hours, they follow animal tracks across vast stretches of wilderness. At night, they return to their community and continue a way of life that has endured through countless generations. Perhaps it is this strong sense of unity, combined with their hunting skills, that allows them to overcome the challenges of the wild. If you enjoyed learning about the Hadzabe people's journey of survival, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more fascinating stories about people and nature from around the world.
Leo.
The Hadzabe tribe is facing a formidable challenge on this hunting expedition. It has been a long time since they last encountered such a giant python, and out in the vast open plains of Tanzania, the hunting team is preparing to revive an ancient tradition passed down from the oldest hunters of the tribe. After leaving the camp and stepping into the tall grass, the Hadzabe hunting party suddenly comes to a stop. Tracking them through dry leaves and sandy ground is no easy task. But the Hadzabe hunters are never in a rush. They observe and listen carefully, understanding the behavior of their prey. Although the python is not venomous, its sheer strength is enough to make anyone cautious. Even a single footprint on the ground can cause them to immediately change their strategy. The formation shifts at once. Some step back, others move around, expanding their field of vision and listening to every sound in the grass. This is how the tribe operates, never rushing, never underestimating the situation, and always respecting the dangers that may be hidden beneath the ground. As they follow the trail deeper, the smallest details become clearer. Flattened grass, bent branches, and disturbed soil all point to a large python moving through the area. When the trail leads into a shaded spot beneath dense trees, the atmosphere suddenly changes. This is where the python hides, where it can rest and conserve its energy. At this point, the Hadzabe hunters know the real encounter is approaching. They do not show haste, maintaining absolute calm at all times. These hunters follow a well-prepared approach when dealing with a python. Keep a safe distance, avoid standing in front of its head, and always stay highly observant. This is how they prevent unnecessary surprises and ensure the safety of the group. Once they are close enough, one hunter uses a non-poisoned arrow to distract the python, creating an opportunity for the group to adjust their positions. These arrows are not meant to harm, but to send signals that help control the situation. As the python slows down, one member of the group uses a long stick to gently guide its head toward the ground, avoiding sudden movements around its most sensitive part. With the python's head safely under control, the group quickly works together to move it into a more open area with better light and flatter ground. This is when the real work begins. They use forest vines to secure the necessary parts, keeping everything stable and safe during the process. The atmosphere quickly becomes more urgent and decisive.
As a dream, Duko and Abba divide the snake into two parts. The skin goes to
one group prepares the fire, while another selects the firmest cuts of meat for cooking. The head stew requires no elaborate seasoning, just a few wild roots, some water, and fresh pieces of meat. Everything is placed into a pot and cooked over a low flame. Meanwhile, slices of meat are skewered on stripped branches and roasted over glowing embers, releasing a rich, mouth-watering aroma. Across the camp, the atmosphere becomes lively but not noisy. Some hunters continue repairing old arrows, others clean their tools, and a few sit in the shade, talking about the tracks they found during the journey. The meal is not a fixed gathering, but spreads naturally throughout the camp, where each person continues their work while eating. As the stew begins to boil, its aroma spreads throughout the camp. It is divided into small portions for everyone to eat throughout the afternoon, especially for those who need extra energy for the remaining tasks of the day. Under the daylight, the camp feels like a busy cycle. Each group works independently while still staying connected through a shared spirit. This is just a small part of the steady rhythm of life that has been formed over generations on these plains. Journeys like this help us better understand the lives of the Hadzabe people, where every fire and every meal carries its own story. If you want to explore this wild land further and discover rare traditions that few people know about, don't forget to subscribe and join us on the next adventure. There are still many fascinating things about the Hadzabe waiting for you.
At this, everyone is celebrating the cotton harvest, and which will mean a little money for everyone.
On the vast savanna near Lake Eyasi in Tanzania, the Hadzabe tribe begins a challenging day of hunting. Rather than targeting a single animal, they set their sights on several species today. Massive hippopotamuses in the waterholes, elephants moving in herds, and lions, the rulers of the savanna. Before dawn, the entire camp is already awake. The fire is dying down as the hunters inspect their bows, arrows, and small axes. Silence is a rule. Any unnecessary sound could alert the highly sensitive animals to their presence. The hunters split into small groups and move along narrow trails, winding through low acacia bushes. They pause frequently to observe the ground and read the signs. Footprints press into mud, broken branches, and fresh streaks of wet earth all tell a story about the presence of hippos or elephants. Drawing on knowledge passed down through generations, they can distinguish the tracks of a hippo moving through water from those of a forest elephant crossing soft ground. Accurate identification helps them choose the best approach without being detected. As they near a small marsh, an unusual sound rises from the water. large hippopotamus, its powerful muscles rippling beneath its skin, emerges to breathe. The hunting party remains concealed behind bushes along the bank, keeping a safe distance. Some hunters gently toss decoys to test the animal's reaction. The hippo appears curious but not alarmed. Working together, they position arrows fitted with lines and aim at strategic points. In an instant, they leap forward and release their shots with precision. The hippopotamus thrashes in the water, but eventually collapses into the mud, its enormous body sinking amid the hunter's quiet celebration. Not long afterward, the group heads toward the grasslands where a herd of elephants has been moving. Massive footprints are clearly visible in the soft soil, revealing the herd's journey, including mature adults and young calves following behind. The Hadzabe choose a favorable position, avoiding direct intrusion, and instead waiting from a distance while observing every movement. When an adult elephant steps into an opening between the bushes, the bows and arrows are already prepared. Once again, patience and precise coordination bring results. An elephant is struck, and the group quickly moves in to complete the hunt using traditional methods, ensuring the safety of both the hunters and the remaining elephants. Their sense of victory remains incomplete as they continue toward lion territory. A pride of male and female lions appears, their strong bodies and alert eyes reflecting constant vigilance. The Hadzabe understand that lions are swift and intelligent predators that cannot be approached in the same manner as other animals. They watch from afar, read the wind, and move slowly through the bushes, attempting to get closer without being noticed. However, every effort proves futile. A single watchful glance and a powerful step are enough for the lions to detect the hunters. One lion releases a threatening roar, while the rest of the pride retreats into the shade, forcing the Hadzabe to stop their pursuit. Patience alone is sometimes not enough against an apex predator like the lion. They continue observing for a while before deciding to withdraw safely, recording the pride's behavior for future hunts. After successfully hunting a hippopotamus and an elephant, the group returns to camp with their game and a sense of pride. Along the way, they gather wild fruits and collect honey from small beehives hidden within hollow tree trunks. Every activity unfolds naturally, blending into the rhythm of daily life on the savannah. Upon returning, they rekindle the fire, prepare food, and share their experiences. Stories about the lion encounter are retold, not with regret, but as lessons for the younger generation on observation, patience, and respect for nature. The afternoon passes peacefully. Some hunters repair their bows and arrows, while others watch the birds and small animals nearby. They understand that a hunting day is not only about securing prey, but also about learning animal behavior, maintaining balance with nature, and refining essential survival skills. In Hadzabe culture, every hunt is a living lesson in patience, cooperation, and respect for all living creatures. Successfully hunting animals such as hippos and elephants provides food and tools for survival, while failing to overcome the lion serves as a reminder that nature often favors those that are strongest and most cunning. As the sun sets and golden light stretches across the savannah, the Hadzabe bring their long day to a close with gratitude, continuing to preserve their ancient traditions and adding another chapter to the enduring story of survival on this land.